Multiview sketches to create two models of the two shapes that you see on the right side of the screen. Let's get started with this one in the top right corner. This is an L shape with a triangular prism inside of it. So within Fusion, the first thing I'm going to do is make sure that I'm in my project models from Multiview drawings. I should see my first project right here on the left. I'm going to go ahead and create a sketch. If I don't see my three planes here, make sure you turn on the origin and you'll see those. Looks to me like the easiest way to start is with this L shape along the top. So I'm going to start on my horizontal plane. I'm going to go right in here and create a line. And then I'm going to count the size of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I go 6 units. I'm in centimeters here. 6 units in that direction. And then I'll count these others. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll go 9 units to the right. It appears to be 2 units thick. Bring it in. Bring it down. Bring it over. And that creates that L shape that you see on the top of this image. I'm going to go ahead and click on my shape, and then I'm going to click extrude. And how tall is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units high. I'll press enter, and now I have the L shape. I need to create this triangular prism inside. I'm going to go to my view cube and hit home. Make sure that I'm in my nice isometric view. I'm going to click new sketch, and I'm going to create it on the horizontal plane, but I can't get to it because it's underneath my body. So right here in my drop-down browser, I'm going to turn off the bodies for just a second. Click on that horizontal plane, turn my bodies back on. Now I can draw a prism inside or just right next to this other shape. So all I got to do now is click on this corner. I'm going to make myself a little triangle. It goes all the way out. Looks like about 5 centimeters or 5 units. Bring that back to here. I always hit finish sketch. Click on that triangle on the bottom. And I'm going to drag that up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. Boom. I want to double check that my bodies, that this joined. I did create one body there. If it didn't do that, you want to make sure that when that's being created, that the operation you choose is join. If you create new body, it's going to create 2 separate bodies, and you'll have to join those later using this combine tool at the top. Just depends on how you did it. Go ahead and hit save. And I'm going to call that Multiview Sketch to Model 1. Hit save on that. Now I've got to save that so that I can make a drawing out of it later. I'm going to go ahead and model the second one before I show you how to do the drawings so I can just get to it. Now I'm going to make this one in the bottom right-hand corner. I've shown you here, this is the solution, which is also posted on Google, the solution for the multi-view drawing. The only thing this is missing is the dimensions, but I'm going to go ahead and look at the 3D model, the isometric view down there in the bottom right-hand corner. This looks like 3 separate shapes to me, sort of a tabular shape in the back, a triangle on the bottom, and then a triangle that kind of sits here on top. So I'm going to create those in 3 pieces. I'm going to go ahead and create a sketch, make sure my origin is on if it wasn't automatically, and I'm going to start with the vertical plane. There's the vertical plane. And now looking at this over here, I'm going to create that shape in the background. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units tall. I like to just type in the number. Then I'm going to come over 1, 2, 3, 4 units. Down 1. Over 4 more. Down to the bottom. Bring it back. Finish the sketch. There it is. Click on that and I'm going to extrude it. And you'll notice it's going to want to extrude it off into the distance. That is just fine. And there it is. There's my background image. Let's just keep going. I'm now going to create a second sketch to make the triangular prism on the bottom. I'm going to hit create sketch, but I can't get to my bottom. So I'm going to turn off the bodies for just a minute. Make sure I can select my plane, turn my bodies right back on. Now I'm going to create this triangle here. It appears that it's 1, 2, 3, 4 units out. I'm just going to type in the number 4 because I'm lazy. Bring that all the way over to this corner. Bring it all the way here, make a nice big triangle. Finish my sketch. Click on that. I'm just going to press E and then type in the number 2. Make sure my operation here is join, and boom, now I've got the bottom. I just need to do one last little piece and I'm done. Let's create a third sketch. This one needs to be on the vertical plane in the background. I can't get to it, so let's turn on that body, turn off the body, select the plane, turn on the body, and now I just need to create that little triangle right there, and it's going to go in this little crook. So it's going to go right here and bring it over to, make sure you snap it to the very, very top, and then bring it back to the bottom. Finish the sketch, select it, extrude it 2 units, make sure my operation is join, and boom, there it is. Maybe I'll turn off my origin just to make this look pretty. Select the home view, and look at that. This should look exactly like the picture down there on the right. I'm gonna hit save. I'm gonna call this Multiview Sketch to Model 2. All right, and that way I'm just naming that exactly what the assignment was called. And now we just need to make something we can turn in. So I'm gonna go back to my first one, design, drawing from design. And I am going to create a new drawing from the assembly. From here, I need to start with my base view. So as soon as this creates itself, it should automatically allow me to lay down a base view here. So I'm going to lay down a base view. And then again, I want a right and a top view, but to get those, I'm going to click OK, click projected view. And I actually like to drag one down, one to the left, one to the bottom left, hit escape. And now click on those and move them to their better locations. All right, I can drag this around to make sure it fits. Make sure it fits, that's good. Now, document settings here. My units here are in millimeters. I'd really rather them be in centimeters because that's gonna make the numbers show up a whole lot cleaner. Click OK. I also want to experiment real quick with the scale of this. If I change the scale to 1:1, then everything's gonna show up a little bit bigger. It's gonna look better on my page. If you notice, I can actually get all of this on in a nice clean sense. My only thing to do from here is draw some geometries. I'm going to grab my dimensions. I like to go ahead and do maximum dimension, maybe a smaller dimension. You want to try and dimension this as best you can so that the reader looking at this knows exactly how big everything is. Now, you can over-dimension if you put too many things on, but I'm not too concerned about that at this point. I'm mostly concerned that you are creating well-dimensioned sketches. All right, I'm gonna go with that. That's a lot of dimensions. Whole lot of dimensions there. Maybe I'll drag this right up here. And now I have multi-view sketch to model 1. And I'm going to compare that to the drawing that's up here. And it should look similar to whatever it is you made on your paper. In fact, it shouldn't look similar. It should look identical. Sure do hope so. And now let's go ahead and do the same thing. I'm going to hit save on that. Save. To turn that in, you want to use this export to PDF button up here. Click export, all sheets, okay. You save it, you turn that into Google Classroom. I'm gonna go ahead and do it for sketch to model number 2 here. Design, drawing from design. Full assembly, create new from scratch. I really wish I could change that to centimeters, but it just won't let me. I'm gonna click OK. So now I'm trying to recreate this guy that I made in the bottom right-hand corner. I'm gonna start with my front orientation at 1:1. That looks good. Go ahead and click in here and that'll put my base view down. I'll click OK, and there's a base view. Above create, I click projected. click on my base view, and I like to drag it down, left, bottom left, escape. And then I click on those and I drag them to a better position. There's all those. Now this one I don't know that I can recreate. I don't know that I want to make the scale any different. This is already 1:1 here. In order to make my dimensions look good, I'm going to go Document Settings, Dimension Units, click this button, change them to centimeters, click OK, and that's going to make things show up a little cleaner. And then let's dimension this puppy. There's one there. There's one there. I'm just going to fill in the relevant dimensions. I want to make sure I have enough that the reader knows exactly what it is they're looking at. Because, man, these things can be confusing if you're not careful. That's 2, 2, 2. Just go ahead and get all sides there. Same down here. Dimension it out. If it loses you, just go click that dimension tool at the top and just keep pumping. 3.61, look at that. That's a wild number. All right, and then I might grab this guy to let you know. Actually, no, I don't need to do that because it's already down there. Okay, this looks well dimensioned to me. I did just realize one thing that I forgot, which I really should have, and that is some labels. So I should have a label here that says top. I should have one here that says front. Over here, isometric. And this here should say right side. Save that. Make sure it's saved. Now this is just saving to my computer. Multiview sketch to model to drawing. Okay, save that. And then in order to turn this in, I want to click Export All Sheets to the PDF. I click OK. That's going to bring up this dialog that will allow me to save this stuff. And I did just realize I will need to go back and add to this one text box that says top. Front. Isometric. Right side. Now you may tell me, Mr. Trimble, why am I adding this every single time? Don't we know that that's what it is? And the answer is yes, we do know that this is the top, front, right, and isometric. But the whole point is to let your reader know that you understand how CAD works. I will export this as a PDF, and then I will be done. Make sure you save all your work. Keep it all in this Models for Multiview Drawings, because we have more of these coming. Thanks, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in class.